Old school talk, R&B, and hip hop. WBMM online radio.
Yeah, you are now tuned into the truth of Jesus. Inspire, educate, and uplift. If you can't handle the truth, this ain't the show for you. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So sit back, relax, and buckle up and enjoy this ride.
All right. Welcome back to the show. You're listening to the Truth on WPMM Internet Radio. I am your boy, Gerald Graham, also known as G. Once again, we are back to talk about the issues that matter to you and your community. Hope all is doing well. Today is Thursday. It is Thursday. We are on the precipice of the weekend. We are on the countdown. One more day before the weekend. Hope you all had a great week. Hope that you all had a great holiday weekend. Last weekend, safe. I hope you done threw out all of the Thanksgiving leftovers, because at this time they full of salmonella. So you really don't need to still be eating them leftovers. If you feed them kids them leftovers, you better watch out. I'll call DCF on you. But great to be back in the studio. I am back in the studio tonight. We are taking your phone calls, 850-221-0396. That's the number to call tonight. Talking about multiple topics tonight, but I want to thank you once again for joining in. We are on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we are on WPMM Internet Radio, where you can go to the website and listen to the show. You can also go to our YouTube channel. You can go to the website and you can download the app. We have a free app. You can download the app on the WPMM app. You can go to the Google Play Store, the Apple Store as well. So WPMM, we do play more music at the best R&B and jazz, talk, neo soul, independent music, hip hop, and old school music. So you can tune in to WPMM. If there's not a show going on, we have great music going on. So check us out throughout the day. Again, that website is WPMMradio.com. Tune in to iTunes Radio. Also on Alexa, you can also download the Google and iPhone apps from your mobile device. Just type WPMM streaming. Also live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. So also, if you have someone who may not be able to get onto the show in those ways, just text them, WPMMradio.com. Just text that to them, and all they have to do is hit play, click on the link, hit play, and they can enjoy the show as well. Now, the views and opinions expressed by individual radio hosts and guests are of their own and does not necessarily reflect the opinion of WPMM Radio. WPMM does not intend to align with any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. Now that we have gotten that out the way, once again, it is Topic Thursday. I am looking forward to the weekend. I need a breather. I know somebody said, well, you just came off vacation. But, when you get my age, these little 4 or 5 days vacations are not enough. So I still need some time off. But if you're on Facebook, go ahead and share. If you're on my Facebook page or if you're on WPMM Facebook page, go ahead and share, please. We want to get as many people on as possible. I know we're a little bit late coming on tonight. We're a little bit late, but that's my fault. I ran into some traffic jams on the way here. And traffic is looking rough out there. It looks like we have Miss Deborah Rivers that has joined us on the show. Like I said, if you're on Facebook, let me know you're out there. Again, once again, go ahead and share. But I'm going to talk about a few things tonight. So if you want to get in on the conversation, just either submit your comment in the comment section if you listen on Facebook. 850-221-0396 is the number to call if you're listening on the WPMM radio website or using the app. 850-221-0396 is the number to call. Let's see if we can get that up on the ticker. I don't know if we can or not, but let's see. So just letting the guys know I am working with some new technology here. So plus my first day in the studio since some changes been made in the studio. So y'all bear with me. Bear with me, please. If I start moving a little slow. But 850-221-0396 is the number to call. So what I want to do tonight, I want to talk about some of these local stories that is going on. But before I do that, before I go local, a couple things that we need to talk about on the national end of things that we need to be aware of. I want to make sure that you are aware. Uh, First of all, if you didn't know anything about the rail strike, um, that was something that would impact you greatly, and most people wasn't even aware that it was going. Not a rail strike was looming. However, it looks like that the Biden administration has struck a deal with the railroad union, if you will, to where they should not be going on strike again. They have apparently struck a deal to where a strike is going to be avoided. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if the railroad were to strike, if the rail workers were to strike, that would be catastrophic for the economy. It would also be a, 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 a thing that could cancel jobs, if you will. But it's it was so very important that they got this deal done because it's going to affect prices. It's going to affect supply and demand. Um, most of the products and goods that you receive come by rail, even though they may end up on the back on the trailers of semi trucks. But those semi trucks normally go to the rail yard to pick those trailers up and put them on the trucks and then bring them to their final destination. So if our railroad industry was crippled with a strike, that would be devastating to the economy and to your pocket because the demand supply would not meet the demand and therefore higher prices. And we're already dealing with high prices. So apparently the Biden administration has struck a deal, which is a good thing. So we're going to hope that goes through and follows through and all the ink is dry on the paper in those cases. So with that, also Georgia, the state of Georgia, I want to make sure that the state of Georgia understand the importance of this runoff election. We have idiot Herschel Walker, and we have Raphael Warnock. Raphael Warnock is the incumbent. He is the current senator for that district in Georgia. And then you have the idiot Herschel Walker, who is his opponent. There's a runoff because we had the percentage. Nobody hit 50% in regards to voters turnout or votes, if you will. You have to have a 50% majority in order for a runoff not to take place. That did not happen in the general election. Therefore, there is a runoff. At the time of the general election, the Senate was up for grabs. The Senate is no longer up for grabs. The Democrats will maintain the majority in the Senate. So this Georgia seat is not a seat that will determine who has control. So I am hoping that knowing that, because we had a lot of idiots in Georgia that were voting for Herschel Walker just for control, just so that they can have control of the Senate. Now that that is off the table and it is no longer a option, if you will, it's no longer an option in regards to who's going to have control. So I hope and I pray that the people of Georgia come to their senses and not try to put someone with the brain cells or lack of brain cells of Herschel Walker into our United States Senate. That would be the dumbest thing in the history of our political process to put some. We already have people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and they just happen to be in Georgia as well. We already have that idiot. We have Boebert in there. We already have enough stupidity in our Senate. So why on earth would we add someone like Herschel Walker to that situation? That would not be a smart thing to do. But there's 1.9 million people that voted for Walker in the general election. So we have 1.9 million dumbasses in the state of Georgia who were stupid enough to think that this idiot is qualified to sit in the United States Senate. 1.9 million dumbass people. And I hope some of those dumbass people are listening to the show tonight, because I really want you to know how stupid you are. I really want you to know how, and that stupidity, it comes along with a side of racism as well. Because if you're voting for Herschel Walker, if you want the Senate to be controlled by the Republicans that bad, and you know that the Republican agenda is based in racism, it is a racist agenda, then you are a part of that whole problem. You are yourself a racist. You're embodying that group of people to do what they do. So, but if you're just joining us, we're going through Topics Thursday. We're talking different topics, trying to get to local information. We came on a little bit late tonight, but we'll run a little bit over 7 o'clock as well, since we were a little bit late. Ms. Dorothy Saber has joined us on Facebook. I can see here, but if you're out there, let me know you're out there. And if you're on Facebook, let's go ahead and share. Now, let's go ahead and get to there's a lot of stuff that's been going on locally here. A lot of stuff going on in our local news. And you guys know that I fuss a whole lot about situations in our local news and in the local area, what's going on. And I was going through the stories, if you will, and I'm finding things that are somewhat disturbing. And I'm bothered by a lot of it. So y'all bear with me. I'm still dealing with technology. So y'all bear with me. I'm getting it right. But I came across this story. And it is exactly, it is troubling. It is very troubling because it deals with our kids. And I didn't even read the whole story. So me and you gonna go through this story together. No, that's not the one. But here locally, and when I say local, we are broadcasting in Pensacola, Florida, city of Pensacola, Florida, in Escambia County is where we're broadcasting from. And if I say local, that's what I'm making reference to. I'm making reference to the city of Pensacola. And I am not finding that story. Okay, my story disappeared. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just going to give you what the gist of the story, and I won't give any details of it because I don't have the information right here in front of me, so I don't want to give out anything that's not accurate, if you will. But there was a story where here in Escambia County, where a student, and I don't have the story up, but there was a student that was basically abducted or lured into a a structure, a house, if you will, and that child was raped. And the person was arrested. So if anybody have that information, please share with me. I just do not have it available right here in front of me. The story, and I save all my stuff in my computer. But whatever this attachment was, it's telling me that it's unsupported. So that's why, not that I wasn't ready for it, it's just telling me it was unsupported. Mr. Caleb Houston has joined us on Facebook. How you doing, my brother? Good evening. Good evening. Good to see you, my brother. Mr. Caleb Houston, he is doing great things here in the community. Uh, he is doing great things, especially for our homeless and our uh, women that's out there that don't have anywhere to go. He is doing wonderful, wonderful work out there and trying to take care of this homeless situation. So anytime that you can, if you can support Mr. Houston, make sure that you give him your support. So, but I appreciate you listening to the show tonight, Mr. Houston. But anyway, on that story again, it was a young school age student, and I don't have the exact age of the student. So if anybody does, let me know. But it was lured into a building or a home, if you will, and that child was raped. Luckily, there was a arrest made, so the person that did this is arrested. But we have other idiots out there. We have other pedophiles and other uh, degenerates that are prowling our streets and preying on our kids. So we need to make sure that we're taking care of our children. And it's I know in every situation. I know that can't. It's hard to watch a kid 24/7. It is very difficult to watch a kid 24/7, especially if you are a parent and you have to work, what have you. Sometimes you rely on your kid to get to and from bus stop, to get to and from school by walking or whatever, and you may not be with them all the time. But in this day and age, with what is going on here in Pensacola and around the nation, if you will, we need to make sure that we are have a watch on our kids. If you're living in a neighborhood where you have a bus stop in your neighborhood, and there's usually multiple kids in that neighborhood that will go to that bus stop. My suggestion to you is to get with the parents. For all you parents, to get to know the other parents of the kids that are at the bus stop with your child. Have a conversation with these parents. Make sure that come up with a plan to where some adult can be at these bus stops when these kids are waiting to get on the bus and when they get off the bus. That way they have some level of protection in case something does happen. And everybody's situation is different. People have to work, people can't be there, whatever. But I can guarantee you, if you have 10 kids at one bus stop, I'm sure on any given day, one of those parents or one of those kids can at least spend a day at that bus stop, whether it's getting on the bus or getting off the bus. But you have to get together and you have to talk. You have to communicate with these people. You have to coordinate things, because our kids should not be subjected to pedophiles like this idiot that abducted and raped this young lady, this young girl, if you will. So we just need to be more vigilant in our kids. And I'm not trying to tell anybody how to parent. I just trying to offer my suggestion on how to keep these kids safe. And in this day and age, it's hard to do that. It is hard to keep these kids safe. It's hard to just simply send your child to school and not even knowing if something's going to happen in the school. We have these lockdowns all the time in our schools, and that's from our high school level down to the elementary school level. We have these uh, we have these situations where our schools are on lockdown, and in this day and age, it's not like it's just a random thing. You know, when you hear lockdown, you go into a panic. So, but again, I'm not trying to tell anybody how to parent, but I do want to make sure that these kids are safe when they are at the bus stop. So, I am so sorry. I am still dealing with technology. Y'all bear with me. Y'all just bear with me a moment here. So that's one of the things that's going on here in Pensacola. Let me kind of go on a national level, but it's still local because it deals with our representative in the House of Representatives, Mr. Matt Gaetz. This story deals with him. Uh, as you all may or may not know, Matt Gaetz is under investigation for child sex trafficking. Matt Gaetz is a member of the House of Representatives. He is part of our Congress, and he is still sitting on um, committees. He's still a part of voting and making legislation for the country, but he is under investigation for being a pedophile, being a child sex trafficker. His co-conspirator in the case that he's been investigated, his co-conspirator was sentenced to 11 years in prison, 11 years in federal prison for the crime of sex trafficking and other crimes. Let me tell you why this is significant in regards to Matt Gaetz. This is significant because Matt Gaetz is named in the same complaint that this individual was named in. However, he is still free and walking and participating in legislation that governs our country. This gentleman that and I'm gonna read a little bit of the story here. The gentleman that's been sentenced to 11 years, the co-conspirator or the of this particular this case, he was supposed to get 20 plus years in prison. Reason why he didn't get 20 plus years in prison is because he struck a deal to talk with federal officials, if you will, and kind of tell what happened or what didn't happen. So instead of getting 20 years plus, he only got 11 years, and it was part of the deal, which means there has to be evidence or an abundance of evidence against Matt Gaetz. But they are not moving on Matt Gaetz. Why are we not moving on Matt Gaetz? Matt Gaetz is one of the people who is named, he's basically the leader of this group. So why is he not being investigated more thoroughly, if you will, or if I would say, why is it moving so slow for Matt Gaetz? And this gentleman has already been sentenced to prison. I just have to ask that question because inquiring minds really, really do want to know why that is. So let's see. Let's get the information on that. And if you are on Facebook, I think I have a comment here that I'm trying to get to. Mr. Adams has joined us on Facebook as well. Good evening, there, Mr. Adams. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the situation with co-conspirator of the sex trafficking ring, if you will, that involves Matt Gaetz, the co-conspirator, was sentenced to 11 years. Orlando, Florida. This is Orlando, Florida. Former Florida tax collector was sentenced to 11 years in prison on Thursday for sex trafficking a minor. A judge sentenced Joe Greenberg Thursday morning. Greenberg pleaded guilty to 6 federal crimes, including sex trafficking of a minor, identity theft, stalking, wire fraud, and conspiracy to bribe a public official. Prosecutor said he paid at least one girl to have sex with him and other men. Greenberg's arrest reportedly led to the federal probe into the U.S. Representative Matt Gaetz for child sex trafficking. The Northwest Florida congressman has not been charged and has continuously denied all allegations. Greenberg has cooperated with investigations of 24 people for sex trafficking and other crimes. The lawyer argued this week that it would spare him a long prison sentence. The federal prosecutor asked for a significant reduction in Greenberg's sentence, agreeing during the court hearing on Wednesday to a reduction range of 9 years and 3 months to 11 years instead of 21 to 27 years under the federal sentencing guidelines. So, Mr. Greenberg got 11 years. Got the maximum amount of years under the agreement. And this is the prosecution that asked for a lesser sentence. And the prosecution only asked for a lesser sentence for people who have spilled the beans, if you will. So why is Matt Gaetz still a free man? Why is Matt Gaetz still in our U.S. Congress? Why is Matt Gaetz still allowed to vote on legislation? Why is Matt Gaetz still allowed to submit legislation? Why is Matt Gaetz allowed to sit on these committees that make policies and judges other people? I think he's on the Judicial Committee, if I'm not mistaken. He voted against laws that would punish pedophiles. Why would you vote against a law that would be more harsh on people who prey on our young people? But you voted against it. There's a reason for that. So, but that's that story. Again, it's local story because it involves our representative. He is the Northwest. He represents the Northwest Florida in Congress and the House of Representatives. And I am waiting for the gavel to drop on a hearing or a first appearance after his arrest. And if he's not arrested, then we already know our system is ass backwards. But if Matt Gaetz don't get arrested, but at the same time, Trump is still a free person as well. So, it is it's been a mess. It's been a mess. And we're talking local news. I'm trying to stay on local news tonight because we have had a lot of things going on in Pensacola. We've had a lot of that we need to talk about. And we are taking calls tonight. Let me see. I do have someone on the line. Let me see if I can get them. Who do I have on the line with me tonight?
Hey, what's going on, G?
What's John? What's going on, buddy?
Not much. Hey, I'm trying to get you to speak up just a little bit there. There we go. I think I got you now.
Yeah, you're a little faded, but I'm gonna try to turn you up.
Yeah, I just wanted to say good evening to you. You know, talking about Matt Gaetz. I agree with you, but I think there's a lot to do with when you're a sitting congressman, man. You got to have your T's crossed and I's dotted. And Greenberg probably didn't give him enough information from Matt Gaetz. That's why he got all the years he got.
Well, like I say, he was facing 20 to 27. So the prosecution asked for, because of whatever information that he has given on all these couple of dozen people, they asked for 9 to 11, and the judge gave him the 11.
Gave him 11. Okay, maybe he did get Matt Gaetz up on stuff, but this is all a federal thing, man. And Matt Gaetz may get slung up in that wide cast net of all this insurrection stuff too. So, you don't know, man. Why is Trump still walking the streets? They try to cross their T's and dot their I's,
Well, it don't take that much ink to cross them T's. Dr. Myers. They
Uh,
I think with all these situations with Matt Gates, I think even with the Orange Idiot, I just personally think that they have all the information that they need to lock this
yeah.
food up. I just think, I had confidence in Merrick Garland in the beginning, but I'm losing confidence in this man as time goes on. I promise you, I'm losing confidence in him because
Well, yeah. Well, see, Merrick Garland is not like Eric Holder. You know, Merrick Garland is a institutionalist. He wants to be able to, he doesn't want to be blamed for getting anything political. And that's probably why, see, this all kicked off last year while Matt Gates was in the middle of his term. But see, if he felt he'd have gave down Matt Gates in the middle of his term, then it would have been political, not to, interfering with an election like they did Hillary Clinton, you know, when she had to sit up and testify all that time in front of Congress when she was running for president. He didn't want to. I guess he didn't want to come off like that. So I'm just thinking. I'm just spitballing. Maybe because now that he's been elected or reelected to another term, that if say Merrick Garland does it within the next 3-4 months, it comes out the gates, it won't be political. You see what I'm saying?
but see,
So
but this in my opinion, in my opinion, the way I view this is that by Merrick Garland choosing politics over, I think he's choosing politics over the law, because when you break the law, regardless if
look,
you're a politician or whatever, you broke the law,
uh,
and you should be
yeah, you're
prosecuted
right.
just like everybody else,
Yeah, you're right.
regardless of what your position is from president on down. And by him trying to avoid making it look political, he's making it political.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a sticky situation, man. It's a sticky situation.
So,
But we shall see.
I need them to expedite this situation because I need Matt Gates locked up. I need Trump
Well,
locked up.
uh,
I need for first of all, I need for Georgia to go ahead and wipe Herschel Walker off the books and get him out of the news cycle. And once they do that, I need all these people like Lindsey Graham and God, my mind just went blank. All these people that the Georgia District Attorney done brought in the question about the voter fraud. I need her.
yeah,
I need her to go ahead and start locking people up
yeah,
because
right.
Lindsey Graham is in that mix. Um, it's a doggone shame. I see the people faces that are facing it, but I can't think of the names right now. Yeah, but she doesn't. She done talked to like about 5 major people in her investigation, but it's still
Right,
moving slow. We are moving too
right.
slow. Now, if it was
But
you
what
and I,
oh, there's no question, no question. We'd have been, you know, we'd have been locked up. Probably keep them away from us. Ain't no telling.
right. So
Yeah, but
I need them to be treated just like we are because they can,
uh,
especially with us. I'm gonna say it, especially with us black folks. You know,
mhm,
they don't have to have a lot of evidence to lock us up.
right,
They lock us up, and
right,
then we have to prove that we're not guilty.
yeah,
So we're
right,
guilty until we prove ourselves innocent.
right. But
So
you know what I need more than all that, man?
what's that?
You know what I need more than? I need to check on railroad owners to give these rail workers some paid sick leave. That's what I need. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. If we have a rail strike, we all gonna suffer from that.
Well,
Because
well,
let me tell you something. You know how Florida Power and Electric and Alabama Power, Mississippi Power get all their coal? That stuff comes on the rail. That comes on freight. When you go across the L&N Railroad or the CNN Railroad track, you see them tanks.
mm,
That's all water purification stuff to clean our drinking water, man. That's that ammonia to clean our drinking water with. I'm
Well,
telling you, man,
well, I
this
don't.
is a sticky situation. That's more to me. That's more important than that gave Trump or any damn body. I'm be honest with
Well, I talked
you. You know.
about that. I talked about that at the very beginning of the show.
Uh huh.
Right before I came to the studio, I did see where the Biden administration had reached a deal with the rail workers or the rail union or whatever it is, to where it's going to avoid the strike. I,
It is.
I,
I haven't seen any news, so
I,
that's good.
but however, I did hear that as far as they were trying to seek, you know, paid sick leave. And I only had a few minutes to check it out before I had to run out. But from my understanding and what I heard, the deal that they struck still did not include those 4 days sick leave.
Well, that was the one that the Congress passed yesterday. Is that the one?
No,
The
this
Senate still had to vote on it. The Senate still got to vote on one.
well, like I said, I wasn't able to get the full story, but
Right.
I know they said that the Biden administration had reached a deal with the rail
Yeah.
workers, and it did
They
not
did that.
include the sick leave, but they were
Right.
not going to go on strike.
But they said they're not going to go on strike. That's what they're saying.
That's what I
So they,
heard. I will get the
that's.
rest of the story once I get off the
Uh,
air, but
I
that's
I
what I
hope
heard
so, man.
initially.
Right. I hope so, man, because Joe Biden does not want to go down in history as a union buster. That's the last thing you need, because these are people that put him in office. It's a whole lot different than when Ronald Reagan busted the air traffic control union up in back in '81 or whatever it was. But it's a big difference, We didn't. There was not a lot of us as airline traffic controllers.
Right.
So with this, there's a lot of us work for the railroads, and I've heard on radio and talk shows, man, where these guys, man, they've been working 3 years without a contract, no raises. They don't get any sick days off. Guys get COVID. They've had to use their vacation days or personal days just to sit home for COVID. It's a sticky situation because when you go on a rail, man, you go on a freight, you might be gone for a week or so, right?
Right.
And if you stay gone for a week, or then you come back and you're supposed to go out, and then what's gonna happen? If they're short staffed, who's gonna take your place for a whole week because they're coming back for another week? You know what I'm saying? It's a
Right.
rotation thing. It's a sticky situation, but I agree with them. They do need sick days, but how do you do it?
Right.
You can't keep kicking the can down the road with that.
I mean, I think that's something that will be worked out, especially if they don't reach the deal for them not to go on strike.
Right.
There has to be something in there. There has to be something in that deal that
Yeah.
makes up for that. But I don't think they would have struck a deal if there's not something in there. And like I said, I still don't have the details, and I will be looking into that here. And I have the information on the next show. But
Right. Because if that vote, because Congress passed it yesterday, that if Congress passed it yesterday, but now the Senate, the House passed it yesterday. House passed it yesterday. The Senate was going to be a vote for today or something like that, and they had a few Republican senators that were we're not going to vote for it. You had to have it had to be it had to be a filibuster-proof thing.
they
So it had
need
to
it.
be
So
64.
got to be 60.
Or whatever.
There got to be 60
Yeah.
votes.
Right. So they were saying that they would not have had enough, senators to bust it. So, oof, boy.
Well, Republicans they just there to cause confusion. That's the only reason for the Republican Party nowadays is just to cause confusion. So,
Yeah.
so
But it's a whole thing, man. In fact, that they do. I think a lot of it is being done on purpose to make Joe Biden fail. But a lot of it, he's winning on a lot of it.
right.
He's winning, and I think a lot of it's done on purpose.
And Republicans just making themselves look like idiots. But but the thing is, we have a lot of Republican idiots, so they don't see that the Republican lawmakers are idiots because they're
Right,
idiots themselves.
right.
But why I have you on here? Just I got another question for you. Why I have you on here?
All
Um,
right, what's up?
going back a few years, there was this big controversy with Jameis Winston in regards to some crab legs.
Uh-huh.
Made a big stink about it, real big stink about
Yeah.
it.
Uh-huh.
And Jameis Winston was a Florida State Seminole
Right.
at the time. They made a big deal about it.
Yep.
But we have Mr. Jalen Kitna. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. You mean I remember the crab niggas, but I don't know what you talking about.
Okay, Jalen Kitna is the current backup quarterback at the University of Florida.
Uh-huh. Oh, with the oh no, I said something else. Wait, I'm sorry.
With the he was arrested and given an $80,000 bond for child pornography.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, for sharing child pornography, he was arrested and given an $80,000 bond. He was arrested last night, I believe, sometime last night, yesterday, last night or
Uh-huh.
yesterday. So, I mean, I that's one of the stories I was going to talk about tonight. But we, I said that to you because y'all Florida fans better not ever say anything about them crab legs again.
Well, hey, when you're wrong, you're wrong. You're right, you're right. I mean, I know a guy right now is doing time in North Carolina behind that same stuff, But when you're wrong, you're wrong. I mean, hey, they need to lock him up, throw the key away. There's no excuse.
So it says University of Florida gave his backup quarterback Jalen Kitna bonded out. Well, he did bond out. Okay, bonded out of jail on Thursday evening after he was arrested on 2 charges of child exploitation and 3 charges of possession of child pornography. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children received a tip regarding the child exploitation on June 23rd of 2022, according to an arrest report from the Gainesville Police Department. Police say they traced the tip back to the 19-year-old University of Florida quarterback, Jalen Kitna. Said the police department officers arrested Kitna on November 30th after executing a search warrant on his apartment. The image is a zoomed-in picture of a pre-pubescent female, lower stomach up to her thighs. The rest on the rest, it said on the arrest report. So
Wow.
bond was set at $80,000, but he was able to bond out. And the first person I contacted when I saw this story,
Who?
the big dog.
Oh, you did? Oh man, why is that?
Because I wanted him to see what doing stupid stuff can get you.
Get you, yeah. Well, now your son ain't you go something.
Well, he told me he already know. He told me he would never ever do anything that's stupid.
Oh,
but I stay in his ear all the time. Anytime that I talk to him, anytime I see him, one of the last things I say, other than telling him I love him, is don't do anything stupid.
That's right.
So, and I just wanted him to see firsthand how quick you can lose everything, because this kid is, college quarterback, major institution there, and obviously in college on scholarship, and now the team done dropped him. I'm sure he done voided his scholarship. He's arrested now. Now he got to face this trial or whatever's coming up, or whatever he's gonna do in regards to these charges, and his life is screwed.
Yeah.
It don't take long to get in trouble.
No, that's true.
Don't take long at all. And it's
not at all.
And it could have been, I feel like somebody snitched on him. I just feel like
I tell
somebody's.
you, man, they got ways, man, of tracking that stuff, man, on your computer.
Well, they say
They got,
they start looking into it on a tip.
oh yeah,
So anytime they say a tip, that means somebody
somebody
snitched.
snitched on them. Yeah, that's true.
Somebody snitched on him. But if he, you shouldn't have. Sometimes, I'm not making excuses for anybody when it comes to that situation. But when you're dealing with modern day technology,
Oh man,
you can
Big Brother always watching. Big Brother always watching.
but you can type something in your search engine. You can type something totally innocent that you're looking for, and
Yep.
something that you never would think would pop up.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, if, and I think a lot of people actually get caught up in crap like that. Just you type in an innocent word and stuff pop up that you didn't mean for it to pop up, but now is forever encrypted in your computer.
Yeah.
So, but when you
Yes,
get a
it is. But
chance,
hey, in the words of our new minority leader in the House, Representative Hakeem Jeffries, who quoted the Notorious B.I.G., and if you don't know, now you know.
by the way, I didn't say anything about that, and I'm glad you brought that up. It was because I was trying to do local stuff today. But for those who don't know, Hakeem Jeffries was elected as what will be now the minority leader, the Democratic minority leader in the House of Representatives. He is taking over for Nancy Pelosi, who has been the Democratic leader, if you will, of the House. Or she's been there for what? She's been the leader
20
for
years. She's been at least over 20 years.
yeah. So she's been there for a minute. But he's taken over. He is I hate to say somebody's the first black person to do something. That irritates my soul. But
Yeah.
and we're in 2022, we shouldn't still be saying the first black.
I want you to picture something. I want you to think about something. Picture this for a minute. The year 2025. Okay. Joe Biden gets reelected as president, and Kamala Harris is the vice president. At his first State of the Union address, if we get the House of Representatives back that year, to have Hakeem Jeffries and Kamala Harris standing behind or sitting behind the President of the United States when he's giving the State of the Union address. Two blacks sitting behind him on the diocese.
Well,
that gave me chills, boy. That gave me chills right there.
Yeah, Will, but I'm still stick to what I said.
You don't think Joe need to run no more?
I think Joe will be dust by then. Literally dust.
Nah, I don't think so. He looked pretty good today. I saw him. He looked pretty good today.
I mean, I'm not wishing nothing bad on the man, but my God.
Look, it's like I told you, man. If Trump runs, we gotta do this. We gotta prop him up like Weekend at Bernie's. Give him some daggone Red Bull. Give him some wings. Some chains. And he got to run, man. He got to run.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see. I just don't think he's gonna last that long. I think these next 2 years gonna take a toll on him. And the office of the president, it grade Obama up real fast.
Oh yeah, it make you gray, man. I mean, the last 3 presidents went there with black hair came out gray, but he went in with gray hair. So
right, he already a double senior citizen. So, but yeah, that's what it is, Mr. John. That's what it is. I appreciate you calling in tonight. I'm gonna try to be in the studio one day a week, one out of the 2 shows. So, but at the same time,
you gonna be taking a break or something for the holidays? What you doing?
No. It's just that I'm not always in the main studio. Sometimes I'm in another studio and I can't. I'm
Oh,
not
you,
equipped
oh,
to
you be in
take
that,
calls.
oh, you
And
be in that bootleg studio? You
it
be in that
ain't
bootleg
bootleg.
studio?
That's the back
Yeah,
cave.
with your Mr. Microphone. That's what it is, man.
That's the back cave.
The bootleg studio, the Mr. Microphone. Hey, good. Look at me back to pick up later.
But yeah, but I you
Oh
know,
man.
I'll be in the studio at least in the main studio at least one day a week. So
All right.
we'll take calls at least one day a week.
All right. Sounds good, man. Listen, I'll let you later on, G.
All right, Mr. John.
I'm in San Antonio, Texas, trying to get on. I'll talk to you later on.
All right, buddy.
All right, be good.
All right, all right. 850-221-0396 is the number to call. Again, 850-221-0396. It's the number to call if you want to get in on these topics we were just talking about. And me and John kind of made light about it because he's a Florida fan and I'm a Florida State fan. But it's a serious situation where the backup quarterback there at Florida, University of Florida, was arrested for possession of child pornography. Um, that's just a sad situation all the way around. Ms. Angela has joined us. My sister has joined us on Facebook. Good to see you tonight. Again, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and share. We're talking about local stories tonight. Talking about the local stories. Uh, we have had let's go to this story before I start talking about the violence here in Pensacola. Escambia County School Board. Apparently, there's some confusion going on in our Escambia County School Board, and unfortunately, it involves two of our African American brothers and sisters. And we know we are in the middle of Trump country. Escambia County is Trump country. Escambia County is probably one of the most reddest counties in Florida. And when we have people, and it irritates me that when we have people in position, when I say people, I'm talking black people. When we have people in position and other black people try to tear them down, that irritates my soul. But apparently, whatever is going on in our Escambia County School Board, uh, that involves a newly elected uh, David Williams on the school board, is putting a negative stain on Escambia County and putting a negative stain on black people because it just adds to the stereotype that black people can't do anything without beefing and without conflict or whatever the case may be. So when I first saw this story, um, I was just irritated. I didn't even know what the particulars of the story was. I just seen the headline, and I seen who it involved, and I just shook my head because it's a struggle for black people to get anywhere in the Escambia County in the city of Pensacola. It's hard, and we are currently making historic moves here in Pensacola in regards to black people finally getting in positions of power, if you will. We just recently had commissioner on our county commission. We had Commissioner Luma May that was made the chairman of the Escambia County Board of Commissioners. We have Delarian Wiggins that was elected president of our city council, two black people. Even with Luma May and the city council, if you recall, a couple of years ago, in the 2020 election, there was a bunch of bullcrap going on with an idiot um, where we had siblings going against each other, but we had one sibling that was being an asshole going against the other sibling, and it just caused confusion, and it made us it just put us more in a negative light. Um, a night that we did not even need to be in, a night that we did not deserve to be in. But when you have idiots that want power, that will do anything and will dog anybody and lie on anybody to get it, that's a sad situation, regardless you black, white, purple. Um, but we had that situation, and now in our school board, we have the incumbent, Mr. David Williams, and going issues. And I'm gonna read the story on that so you can get the gist of what's going on. Ms. Rivers, she commented on that. She said, yes, indeed, shame on her. And so you'll know what I'm talking about. Let me read a little bit of the story so you can have a somewhat of an understanding of what's going on in our Escambia County School Board. So Escambia County, Florida, a former Escambia County School Board member has filed a complaint at the state level against a person elected to fill her seat. David Williams was sworn in as the newest Escambia County School Board member just last week, but now a complaint has been filed by Dr. Laura Elder, a black woman, with the state of Florida that claims Williams used an improper address when filing to run. Campaign records show Williams registered an address at a home on East Jordan Street, but the property tax records show records for the address listed a different name entirely. Dr. Laura Edler, who confirmed to WER she filed a complaint but did not say with what department, declined to speak with us on camera on Tuesday, but say that the decision was made around what's best for the students. What's best for the students. Edler went on to say she believes Dave Williams knew what he was doing in trying to deceive voters in the district. WER called the Escambia County Supervisor of Elections. On this, we were told Supervisor David Stratford received no written complaint from Dr. Eller. Instead, she called after the primary election in August to question Williams' qualification. Dr. Eller was directed to the courts where she can challenge a candidate's qualification. WER contacted Florida Election Commissioner and the Secretary of State to get a copy of the complaint. We haven't heard back. We have also reached out to fellow board members. Only one, Patty Hightower, responded saying she's unaware of the situation. But we're told by Hightower in a school board meeting, and if a school board deemed ineligible to represent the district, the governor will task with appointing a new member to the board. The most recent happened in Florida in 2020 when Alachua County School Board member Dion McGraw was removed from the school board by Governor Ron DeSantis for living 350 feet outside district line. So we have a former member going up and filing complaints on a newly elected. Again, both of these are black people. These are black people. And I made a post the other day, and I called it crab in a bucket mentality, but one of the crabs not even in the bucket, and they still trying to pull people down. I don't know what this lady's motivation is as to why she's doing what she's doing, why she feel that she needs to do this. Or I don't know what her motivation is, but I can say this: we as a people, we have to come together. We have to stop pulling those down who can make a difference. Now, if you're one of those idiots and you run around out there and you just being stupid and you just out there lying and dogging people and crossing people, if you're one of those type people and you running for office, then hell yeah, we're going to talk about you and we're going to shame you, hopefully shame you, and not elect you, because we don't want assholes representing us in whatever office it may be. David Williams was a longtime teacher, coach in school. He was a longtime principal at Pensacola High School, and now he was elected to the board. My thing is, in regards to the school board, I can't understand why somebody would say you're not qualified or question the qualifications of someone who is a principal or was a longtime principal of a school and ran the school successfully. How are they not qualified to be on the school board? School board don't have direct contact with these kids. So if you are being successful as a principal where you have direct contact with kids on a daily basis and you're running a successful high school and the kids at your high school are putting in grades to where it's showing that progress is being made, whatever, those are all the qualifications that you should need. But you shouldn't have anyone coming along that just have a again, I don't know what the motivation is for that, but I can say that I don't think that people should have uh, hate in their heart when they, try to go after someone just out of spite. So, but I'm going to put my support behind Mr. Williams, and we're going to hopefully he's going to keep pressing on and not allow this negativity coming from his a former school board member, not allow that negativity to bring him down. We're running up on the 20-minute mark, 22-minute mark after the hour. We did start the show late today, so that's why we are going over a little bit. But you still have time to put your comments in on Facebook. You still have time to call if you want to call in. 850-221-0396 is the number to call. So give us a call. And I was going to talk about all this violence that's going on in Pensacola as well. That I won't be able to hit each case that we have dealt with here lately. I will do it on the next show though. But the violence in Pensacola is it's just becoming outrageous. We have murder suicides, we have drive-bys, we have stabbings, we have hit and runs. We have all kind of crazy stuff that is going on in our city, and we have to come up with a way to. Um, we got to come up with a way to curb this violence. I don't know what we need to do. I don't have the answers. If I had the answers, I would already implemented whatever plan that I had. But I need like minds, people who are a little disgusted and a little upset about what's going on. I need us to come together and let's talk about not just talk about it, but come up with some type of solutions to help the violence. And I know we can't reach everybody, and I know there's not going to be a situation um, where people are just not committing any acts of violence. I know there's no magic button you push and everybody just start acting right. So I understand that, but we have to do something, people, because the violence. I'm afraid for my own child to come home now. He's in college, and I cringe every time he comes home because anytime he leaves the house, I'm wondering if something bad's going to happen to him based on the situation here in our city. And as a parent, I shouldn't be that uneased. When my child is home. Me myself personally, I I think I can handle a situation if I encounter something because I always have something that well, I'll leave that alone. But I think I can handle my situation. But you know, 18-year-old kid coming home and facing the situations that's going on in Pensacola is somewhat disturbing. So, but we have to do something. We'll talk more about it on Monday. We'll talk more about it on Monday's show, 6 o'clock p.m. right here on WPMM Internet Radio. We'll be back then. The weekend is coming up. I hope you. No, I take that back. I take that back, guys. I apologize. On Monday's show, we won't be talking about it on Monday. I forgot I will be on the road on Monday. So more than likely there will not be a show Monday. I may do a Tuesday show. I may do a Tuesday night show. So stay tuned for that. I may do Tuesday and Thursday next week, or I'll just be back on Thursday. But I know Monday I will be on the road on Monday. So there will be no live show on Monday. So, but with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to make my way to the house and get some victuals so that we can wind this thing down and prepare for tomorrow. And then we're going into the weekend. I hope you guys have a safe Friday. Happy Friday. And hope you have a safe and fun-filled weekend, or if you just plan to relax or whatever you plan to do. So, but just be safe, whatever you do. We still have COVID out there. People are still getting sick from COVID. It's not over yet. It is not over yet, regardless of what people think or how they act. COVID is not over yet. So take care of yourself, people. Take care of yourself. But until then, you guys be safe. Y'all be blessed. And I am
Old school talk, R&B and hip hop. WBMM.